Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Today's video is going to be a bit more serious video. I'm going to talk about some hopeful book for these dark times that we are living in right now, and just books that will restore your faith in humanity. Can I firstly just say, I tried to put false lashes on and this one is ready to fly away. Oh my god, let's live our life like it's a lash on my face, ready to jump into 2019. God, it looks hideous. So let's just try and ignore this side of my face. Anyway, I feel like that we're living in very depressing times at the moment in the UK. We're going through something called Brexit, but are we? Aren't we? The press is obsessed with it, our TV is obsessed with it. We're even making TV dramas in the UK about Brexit. Like, it's such a huge thing in the UK and it's all doom and gloom and we're gonna have a terrible time afterwards, or are we not? It's just so indecisive and indecisively confusing and annoying. Also in the UK, it is literally dark. Like the darker evenings, so you can't go out as much and do certain things that you want to. Also, it's just after Christmas, so you don't have as much money. And so I just wanted to like perk our spirits up. But firstly, I just wanted to have a little discussion about why people feel down. I think there's many different reasons why you can feel down, and you can have stuff going on with your life, or it can be a mental illness. There's many different things, but I do think in UK society it's very much about consumerism, and all our adverts about like, you're not good enough, you're aging, get aging cream, your sofa isn't good enough so you need to get a new sofa, your garden's too small so you got to get a new house with a bigger garden. It's all about spending. It's all about you should feel unsatisfied within your own life, and I just think we need to shake that off. In 2019, I've really noticed it because we didn't used to have a TV, me and my boyfriend. We just didn't really see the need. Like, we both read, we like to chat, you know me, I'm a chatter. I can chat the evening away. So we didn't have a TV, and we've recently got a TV, and all the adverts, and even in dramas, it's about, oh my god, I put false eyelashes on and now my eyes are like watering unnecessarily. God. So what I'm trying to say before these lashes like ruin everything is that I think it's the society that we live in that can bring many of us down, and I just think sometimes you've got to take a step back from it. Also on YouTube there's like adverts playing all the time, so if you're watching something on the computer there'll be an advert telling you you're not good enough, and then you turn on the TV and you're not good enough. Also, UK politics at the moment with the whole Brexit thing, I'm not going to go on about it, but it is so depressing. And the thing that I think, because you watch all the political shows, okay? Andrew Marr, Peston, Politics Live. We have a show in the UK which is on every weekday. So every weekday is like an hour of politics on our TVs, and then at the weekend we have weekend politics shows. So, like, it's obsessive, it's all the time. And I watch, like, sometimes I don't watch every single like day politics, but I'll go in and out because I find it interesting. It's obviously what's going to happen to our country and the future of our country, which is a huge thing. But I feel like the rhetoric that's used is so fear-mongering and it's so aggressive, and politics in the UK didn't really used to be that. Within recent years, before Brexit, it was all a little bit more calmer. It was like, oh, we may disagree with this politician, but it's more calmer. A politician in the UK actually got killed over Brexit. Her name was Jo Cox, and she actually got stabbed. She got killed just because she wanted to leave. She wanted to stay in the EU, and the person that stabbed her was just a man who wanted to leave the EU. It's like craziness like that. There's protests outside the like Houses of Commons that have got like very aggressive people like screaming like traitor into politicians' face. And also I think the papers don't help as well, because this thing traitor of the people is put out all the time by papers. They say politicians are traitors of the people, we need to like take over, and it's just craziness. Also, I heard the other day that not even that long ago, a politician was talking to a load of other politicians about Theresa May going for a meeting with the EU, because the UK is leaving the EU. So she was going to this meeting, and he said she'll have to bring her own noose with her so she can hang herself. I mean, it's just a bit much. And also, one of the papers said about Theresa May, she was a dead woman walking. I just find it all way too much. So I feel like we're living in very dark times. We need to like turn up our TVs and kind of zone out of it a little bit more, which is difficult because you want to stay informed and you want to know what's going to happen after we Brexit, and it's a big thing and it's just stressing me out. So let's remain more hopeful. Now onto the book reviews. So I have 3 books here that I think really do talk about like hope and the human spirit and how much you can like move forward. So first up I have Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto. This is 2 stories in this one book, and both stories are about a woman going through grief. They are different from each other, but it's really about grief, and there's sprinklings of magical realism in it, and it's about how time changes. So in the first book she's talking about her grandma has died, and she's like, she feels like she can't breathe and she's so sad, but the world's going on around her, everyone is just living their lives, oh my god, how is this going on? And then at the end of the story she's like, life goes on, I understand it now, I don't feel as like suffocated by it because I understand this is actually quite comforting that everyone gets on with their lives and life goes on and you heal from it. Really gorgeous book about grief. So if you are going through any kind of grief, I know Christmas can be hell for people going through grief, so we've just come off the back of that. This is a great book for you, fantastic. And also it's just very comforting, but it's a really sad book at the same time, but it feels like a blanket of comfort that if you lose someone you often feel like you're the only person in the world who's ever lost anyone, but people lose people every single day unfortunately, and so we're all trying to muddle along and go through the same thing. I just love that book so much. I then have a poetry collection. This is Alice Walker's Revolutionary Petunias. It's my favourite poetry collection, and not all of this is like hopeful and stuff, just fantastic like collection though. But my favourite poem of all time is this one. It's called Be Nobody's Darling, and I just want to read you like a little bit of it. Be nobody's darling, be an outcast. Take the contradictions of your life and wrap them around you like a shawl. I really like that line, and it goes on to say, you know, be yourself and do what you want to do, because a lot of other people are just doing what they think they're supposed to do and you don't want to end up like that. But I really like the whole thing of take the contradictions of your life and wrap them around you. I feel like a lot of people don't join in with conversations because they don't want to be stupid, and so they just think, oh, I'll stay quiet because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but then you're not living your life and you have to make stupid mistakes and say stupid things and look like a bit of a fool to learn, because then someone can say, oh, actually I think you meant this, and like help correct you in a respectful way, and you can actually learn from it. And I feel like also people don't do certain things in their life because they think it will contradict something, or should I be doing that, I'm not sure, and it's something they just enjoy doing, like YouTube videos. They might think, oh, but is it egotistical to make a YouTube video? Is it wasting my time? Should I be spending that time just doing other stuff that people do? Or, you know, it's an odd thing to start. Just do what you want to do. Go ahead, do it, it's fine. And so I think that is, I really like that, because I feel like also another Alice Walker quote. I know I sound like a crazed Alice Walker fan, but I do love her so much. I talk about her all the time, but I love her. And a famous quote from her is, she said, people give away their power by thinking they don't have any. And we all, so that's the quote, I love it, but we all have some power. So it might be that you've been working at a company for a lot of years, and maybe someone who's doing the same job as you has got a rise because they asked for a rise. They put themselves forward, and you're thinking, oh no, I can't do that. I can't like push myself forward, I don't have enough power to do that. You do. Like, we all have some kind of power that we should use, and you should think in your best interest, because you're the only person that's going to really be in your best interest. You're going to be your biggest, best fan really in the world. And so I just really love Alice Walker, and I love the whole thing of like, even if you think you're going to contradict yourself or you're worried about it, like, just wrap it around you, just live your life, just go for it, learn from your mistakes. Really fantastic poetry collection, and that's my favourite poem. And then last but not least is Annie on My Mind by Nancy Garden. It's about 2 teenage girls who fall in love, and Nancy Garden is a lesbian, and she kind of based it on her relationship with her partner, which I think is so nice. And in the back of it, Nancy talks about her relationship with her partner, but how it was very difficult at first, like the girls in this book, because they were teens when they met, and how difficult that can be. So they come against lots of different struggles within this book. And one thing I like about this book is I love the book, I love the story. It's such a realistic, lovely romance, and I feel like a lot of romance is like insta romance, like they meet, cross eyes, love, done. That cross eyes. that instant infatuated love. I just don't think it's very realistic. So I love the love story of it, the romance, like it's so realistic and lovely. But also this book has actually been through quite a lot because it got banned from schools, and because it's about like lesbians, it got banned from some schools, and then some parents went into those schools, stole the books out of the school library, I'm not even joking with you, and burnt them in a pile of these books. Like, this book physically has like historical troubles within America because parents thought it wasn't right for their children to be reading about like people being gay because they didn't agree with that. So the book has actually been through a lot historically. So I really like it for that as well, that it's like survived and stood the test of time. I really enjoy it. Also, I just want to read a quote that I like tabbed and has loved ever since. And the two teenage girls make friends with an older lesbian couple, and the older lesbian couple have been through a lot. And they've suffered a lot of homophobia, and the girls are saying like, oh, you know, I don't know if we can really be together or what's going to happen. And one of the older lesbians says this to them. She says, "There are a lot of unfair things in this world, and gay people have certainly come in for their share of them. But so have lots of other people. And besides, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the truth of loving, of two people finding each other. That's what's important, and don't you forget it." I just love that. I love how it's like love will conquer all, and then this book has like literally been like torn apart, it's been set on fire, it's been banned from school libraries, and it has stood the test of time, and it is still here. People are still reading it. Oh, I just love that like hopefulness, that love will conquer all, and it's just such a lovely story as well. So those are my books to get you through dark times. If you're feeling very down, and maybe it's to do with like the media's impact, I think pick up one of these books, because none of these books are going to pressure you that you need to wear that lipstick and that you need to wear those heels because you can't be sure, and you need to get rid of your freckles because no one likes freckles. None of that is going to be happening here. It's all about the human spirit and going forward, and I really, really enjoy it. So tell me if you agree with me, if you think that we kind of live in a culture in the UK, or maybe in your country where you're from, where we are supposed to be down, and we're supposed to feel that we're not good enough so that we can spend more money in this consumerism society, so that we can, you know, give more money to the government who taxes us and stuff, and we can continue to be spending, and you have to keep people's like kind of self-esteem down in a way to keep them spending so much and to keep them always thinking they need something else within their lives. Tell me if you agree with that or not. Maybe your country isn't like that. Also, I feel like people are really into like burning out, and there's a new saying which I absolutely hate, which is I'd rather burn out than fade out. And it's all that whole thing of I need to look busy, I need to look like I'm so busy, I'm so stressed, I'm doing so much in my life, look how great I am, and by me being stressed and upset and anxious and I'm continually doing stuff, I'm so busy I can't even do one thing for myself, I can't even read a page of a book for myself, I'm da-da-da. That is success in the UK. People are like, oh great, she's not lazy, how successful is her, like she's rushed off her feet. I think it's really sad that we got to that point where people have to literally burn themselves out to the point of breakdown to be considered a success. Like, slow down, you've only got one life. I could be walking along the pavement tomorrow and a car could clip up onto the pavement and knock me down and kill me, and that'll be it. And then what would I show for my life if I've spent my whole life being like stressed and worrying? That would be the memory people will remember me for. I just think, do the things that you love within life. Don't worry about what other people are gonna say. Like in the words of Alice Walker, be an outcast. Do what you want to do. And this whole facade of having to look like you're actually like breaking down to be successful within life is a crazy thing, and it's so unhealthy. So I'm going to stop now. End of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what books you would add to my list that are about hope and the human spirit, and I'll see you again very soon for another video.